Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for all the people that have been subscribing the past few weeks. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Today, we're going to do another automatic drawing, and I'm going to use, instead of a pencil, I'm going to use brush pen and a regular fine tip pen. You can use any pen you want, Micron, Pitt pen, basically any line. What I like to do with these when I do this type of drawings is I start doing some spots with regular ink with a brush pen, and from there kind of take it into something more. Okay, so we're gonna start. As I mentioned before, this is something that I like to do in the morning, at night, whenever you feel blocked, whenever you're bored, watching TV, on the phone, whatever. And it's a good way to let your subconscious let the work. You're not going to think about it. You're not looking to make a masterpiece. You're not looking to make, something really complicated, or, you can certainly, if you think that you want to sell it and somebody wants to buy it, by all means, it's your piece. You do whatever you want. But so what we're going to do is, before anything, I'm going to take a deep breath. And we're going to start. I'm going to start with the brush pen. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where this is going. I'm just simply going to put just random things. If it comes out as a face, it's a face. If it's an animal, it's an animal. If it's not, if it's something abstract, it's something abstract. Make sure that you don't think about it. Just let your hand do the art for you. Let your subconscious do the drawing for you. So most of my figures that I do for fun or for, pass the time, whatever, tend to look like this. If you see my work, you can tell that, I love skulls. So a lot of the figures that I do like that look like abstract skulls, but, if you're catching yourself doing something, thinking about it too much, then just simply stop, take a look back, take a deep breath, and just start again. So, let your subconscious do the lines. Don't think about it too much. If you make a smear, leave the smear or draw around it. Make sure that you're concentrated, but not concentrated in order to make something that it's planned. Basically, lose yourself in the lines. What you want to do is make sure that you do not think about what you're doing. Just let the line do the work. I highly recommend when you draw like this, I always say it, don't just draw with your hand, move your whole arm. Look at the lines that you get when you just move your whole arm. They're very confident lines. They're not, they're not, if you do like this, it looks good if that's what you intend. But if you do something like this, look at that. Very, very confident. And I use that word a lot because I think a confident line makes a good drawing. It doesn't matter if your intention is to make a realistic drawing or something more, classical, more organized. But a confident line, whether it's squiggly, whether it's straight, it makes or breaks a drawing. I see a lot of drawings when the lines tend to be like that. It's kind of like, it works depending of your intention with the drawing, but if your line doesn't have that confidence, it really makes your drawing lose some of like life to it, if you know what I mean. So, you know, fine lines, doesn't matter. You know, you can do certain amount of thinking when you're doing a automatic drawing, as seen where the line is going, because you need to have some fluidity. You need to make sure that your eye, or the eye of the spectator, follows your drawing. That's when you see in a lot of drawings they use, and paintings, and they use geometrical forms, you know, for composition, because, you know, you have like a group of people. You see that a lot of in religious paintings, you know, some of the old masters, when you see like triangles, and, you know, when you see the main figure, which is, you know, the figure of Jesus, the figure of Mary, or whatever deity, use in, you know, how the eye forms from the spectators, from the other characters in the painting, to the main figure. And it's very important that you have that fluidity, even if you're doing something abstract, even if you're doing a doodle, it doesn't matter. Follow that fluidity, you know. Make sure that if you do lines that go like this, the next ones go like this, just so you can, you know, it makes the eye go around it. So even though you're doing something from your subconscious, you're also, you know, you're also teaching your subconscious where to move your arm, move your hand. I hope I'm making sense. But, you know, it's just very important that when you do that kind of work, drawing, painting, even sculpting, just follow a fluid line. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to make, you know, it doesn't really have to make sense to anybody. I mean, it's your sketch and it's your automatic drawing, but as you get yourself lost in the lines, you know, you're putting your soul into it. You know, you're putting your soul into your work. And that's also very important. It's just not make a drawing just for the sake of making a drawing. It doesn't matter the subject. It doesn't matter if it's something, you know, even something as simple as flowers. You can still make them alive and make them not only alive, but make them your own, make them fluid, make them make your work like it has meaning. Even if your intention is not give something meaning, it's very important that it's a collaboration. So as you can tell, not only I'm doing stuff from the subconscious, this is just completely unscripted. I'm just basically telling you what popped in my head right now. Some of them hopefully makes a lot of sense, or some of it doesn't make sense at all, and that's okay. I'm not here to tell anybody per se how to do your job, but I am giving you suggestions on how to make your work be better. And yes, there are rules that you can use. I mean, rules are important. You know, if you're gonna draw, you're gonna paint, you're gonna sculpt, yes, learn all those rules, because then when you break them, you know that you're breaking them, and you know that makes you, to me, makes you have more control. Because when you do something as abstract as this, but at the same time, you know how to make a well-proportioned figure, you know, the proper use of composition, lights, shadows. I think it helps you. It helps whether you want to make a cartoon, whether you want to make an abstract, whether you want to make a realistic portrait. It's all it's all tied down to your subconscious, because that's how you get those little accidents. You know, if you make something and you have like a little smear, but somehow it gives your work, makes you go like, wow, that really makes it look good, leave it, you know. So yes, it's very important that when you do this kind of work, and when you do, you know, an automatic drawing, an automatic painting, you know, make sure that, you know, you're basically, it's almost like unclogging yourself. You're unclogging yourself from all everything you do during the day. You know, if you're an artist full time and you have to follow, you know, rules because you have clients, and obviously you need to follow directions from your clients or your work. This kind of work makes you just dump everything. It basically makes you, it's a drain, you know, makes you drain your head, makes you drain everything you have in your head, everything that's bothering you, and you just put it there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It certainly doesn't have to be pretty. It's for you. If you want to show it, you show it. You don't want to show it, don't show it. It's you know, it's not for anybody. It's not for me. It's for yourself. So this is some of the stuff that I do when I do mostly figure work. If I choose to do some automatic drawing that it's more abstract, same deal, you know. I start sometimes with a little blob here. This was an accident, actually, so we're gonna leave it there. And just go however you want it. You want to fill those lines, fine. You want to add to it like this. You want to put geometric forms. You want to make things that sort of look like abstract plants or abstract animals. Yeah, doesn't matter. It's your subconscious, is whatever is in your head, and that's it. You know, it's basically this. Whether you do it on paper, whether you do it on canvas, whether you want to do it with clay, whether you want to do it digital on your tablet or your computer, it's the same principle. I mean, it's, you know, it's basically letting go of your subconscious, let your subconscious take the reins and, you know, dump anything that you have in your brain, anything that's stuck in your brain. And again, when you feel block, you know, everybody that has art block and doesn't want to do, get a cheap paper, cheap notebook, and just do stuff like this. Just watch TV and let your subconscious. That's when, you know, I don't know if any of you have seen memes around when they said like they draw while on the phone a perfect eye. And when you focus on drawing an eye, it doesn't look the same. That's it. That was your subconscious. When you're on the phone talking to somebody and you're doodling on a notepad, whatever, look back and see how interesting those drawings are. And sometimes they're even better than when you actually plan it, because that's your subconscious doing it for you. You know, that's when you know, sometimes I'm the phone and I just get a notepad and just doodle like that. And it's very interesting, the things that really come out of it, You know, it could be abstract shapes like this. It could be something technical. You can make, you know, if you like to draw something that looks like circuits, again, just let your subconscious do it for you, but, you know, just let it out, you know, get lost on those lines, you know. Yeah. Again, I told you guys how use your arm, and sometimes I forget myself, but that's fine. It's, you know, if you're drawing on a really big piece of paper, then it's a good idea to do this, because as I said before many times, and you're gonna hear me say it a lot, it gives you more control and a more confident and steady line. So, you know, this is pretty much the inside of my head right now. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing, but that's what it is. And when you do this every day, make it a habit, and you're gonna find out that your actual artwork is gonna improve too, because you're gonna trust yourself more, and you're gonna trust your subconscious. So, you know, even if you're doing a planned drawing, I mean, it's a good idea to have certain controls over it, you know, because when you're doing a piece of art, of course, you picture in your head. You know, when you're in the store, you see like this nice canvas or notepad or sketchbook pad that you see. It's like, oh, you know, I picture that. At least I do. I picture the kind of work that I'll be doing there. So, you know, this helps a lot. I don't feel that I've had art block after doing automatic drawing, but at the same time, when sometimes I don't feel like drawing or feel like I can't get anything, it doesn't affect me as much. I don't feel myself, I mean, this will give me like major anxiety being blocked artistically. You feel sad, you feel depressed, because you have all this pent up creativity or these images in your brain that you want to put out on paper, but you can't. No matter how hard you try, you just can't put them. And that's one of the worst feelings that I think when it comes to having art block, is not knowing how to put that first line. And I still get it when I buy a new sketchbook, new pad, whatever. I had that. It's like this feeling of like you're a little frozen, you know. It's like a deer in headlights. You feel like a little So what I do is I start on the 4th or 5th page and just do whatever. And once you get like in touch, or you feel like comfortable drawing in that pad, then you can start going, like, you can go backwards, or you can start in the first page. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's your sketchbook, so you start whatever page you want. I mean, you know, if you want to, you know, sketchbooks are like, it's your gym for your brain. You know, it's supposed to be dirty and messy. And, you know, if you want to use a sketchbook to make final work, that's fantastic too. They make it with really good quality paper that you can cut out and sell it or frame it, whatever. And that's all good. But for this kind of stuff, anything that's cheap helps. But I don't want it that cheap that I lose it. So I'm not a fan of newsprint paper, because I know that after a while, you know, it'll just, you know, dissolve and just decompose. So I like paper that is cheap enough, but just good enough that it can take different mediums, because sometimes you feel like using a pencil, sometimes you feel like using pen, sometimes you feel like you want to use watercolors. Even if you want to do like, take a palette knife and and oil paint, or just, you know, smear a piece of paper, you know, that's fantastic too. It's, you know, they're all good exercises. And that's part of, you know, being an artist. Like, if you feel that you haven't drawn in a long time, just start. Man. Even if you're not doing it as a career, but you like to draw and you don't have the time, you know, get a cheap pad, carry it with you always. And let me tell you something, when you look back and you see that sketchbook full, the pages are wrinkly, they're full, it looks very used and a little raggedy, it's a very, very good feeling. It's very satisfying to see that pad full and that pad just complete. You can look back and look at it, you know, you can show it to people if you want to, you want to, you know, scan it, publish it online, anything you want to do. But yeah, it's a good feeling, and I'm saying from experience, I used to make so many mistakes with sketchbooks. I would buy one, ruin a drawing, either rip it off or not use it again and get a new one, and keep getting a new one and a new one. And it's wasteful, you know, because, you know, costs money, but that's what you buy it for, to practice. So, you know, you can do this, you can make quick figures, you can make gestures, but, you know, you keep always something with you. Get a pen, any pen you want, whatever makes you comfortable, marker, pencil, whatever, and keep them with you. That's it. I know sometimes, you know, life gets in the way. You don't have the time, kids, school, work, you know, even in your lunch break, just take a few minutes and just put something down, and you're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel better when you look back and you see all those pages that you fill, and it's gonna be a very satisfying feeling. And what it's gonna do is make you get another sketchbook and just finish it entirely. If you have different sketchbooks, like I do, sometimes I feel like drawing on a big paper, drawing on a little paper, landscape mode, a square sketchbook. You know, if you want to keep one on each side, you know, it's up to you. And what I want you to do is just take whatever you're feeling that day, take it with you. You can draw something that you know, you see, people you see, or whatever's in your head. But this type of exercise that I'm focusing right now this is the stuff that makes you, you know, improve your creativity, because you're tapping into your subconscious, and you're tapping into parts of your brain that you didn't know you had. You know, it's deep inside your brain. Sometimes, you know, some of the things might give you, you know, can be intense, big bold lines, or delicate lines. You know, it's basically everything you're feeling, you're just putting it here, and it'll help you to basically, it's kind of like venting. You know, when you tell somebody something that's really bothering you, and you feel so much better after that, it's pretty much the same feeling. So what I want you to do, optional, not necessarily, you know, not forcing anybody to do anything, get a cheap pad, carry with you everywhere. When you go art shopping, you know, check out the different sketchbooks and try one each time and see what works for you. But your mission when you get a sketchbook, finish it. It doesn't matter if it's pretty, if it's not pretty. You get stains, grease, coffee, juice, tea, whatever. Keep it. Make a drawing out of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it stays pretty. It doesn't matter if it breaks, or the cover is a little break. You know, put some duct tape and move on. You know, but once you finish that sketchbook, and doesn't matter how used it looks, how old it looks, it's gonna have so much personality, and it's gonna be an extension of you. It's your extension of your persona, and you're gonna see how good it feels to finish something, even if it's not perfect. And yes, I don't apply this to myself all the time. So but it's something that I'm also reminding myself. So, but yeah, this is pretty much my message for you this week. Get a sketchbook, do your automatic drawings, whatever it is. You're gonna see them improving also every day. So in the morning with your coffee, tea, or whatever you choose to do, make an automatic drawing before you go to bed, or when you're close to go to bed, after dinner, whatever, grab it. That should be your two no-fail times to take your sketchbook and do some drawing with your subconscious. Anything else, you want to spend the whole day doing it? Great. You want to do it anytime you want during the day? Fantastic. But make sure that you always do in the morning when you wake up and at night. And, you know, if it works for you, if it changes your life, which I hope, you know, please let me know. I love when, you know, when I can somehow share this knowledge to people, and hopefully, you know, somebody will find it useful and improve their work. So I think this is it for today. I'll try to make it under 30 minutes. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys enjoy what we did today, and I hope to make this more frequent. So, you know, if possible, once a week. So, you know, stay tuned. If I have other stuff or other process drawing or whatever, I'll post those too. But I'll try to make this automatic drawing sessions a weekly thing, just to guys, you know, keep you guys doing it, and hopefully you'll get something out of it. So thank you, and see you next time.